culture. It's a culture of fear for sure. And it's a big culture of mind control too. MK Ultra mind control rules in Hollywood. If you don't know, Google that and look into it.
Well, we've talked about Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra mind control stuff from, this goes back decades and decades. But Roseanne,
BB and Jack Frost, what's up, party people? I don't know where to start this off. First, I want to say this is not a conspiracy theorist channel. That's one. Yes, conspiracies do exist out there. There are conspiracies, but there are also things that people think exist that don't. Those things I will agree with. Just there's both sides of the coin. But this particular topic, I think there's a couple of things going on. Obviously, we're talking about Tyrese right here. If you read the title of the video, we're still talking about Tyrese. But there's a couple of things going on right here. Besides the issues that he's having as far as his personal life. I seen the videos where he was breaking down, and it looks like, okay, there's this thing. I'm gonna explain what this thing is called first. What it is. It's called MK Ultra Mind Control. This was it was developed by the CIA in, like, I don't know, the 30s or the 40s or the 50s or something like that. But a very, very long time ago, it was developed by the CIA, 1930s, obviously. And it was developed to be used so that when they captured, foreign spies, they could subject them, pardon me, to the mechanisms, the cause for them to be able to be controlled, and then they can have double agents. This is a real thing. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't believe in anything that you've seen in a movie. Like, spies don't exist either. I get it. And neither does trains that the brakes could not work on. Those also don't exist. I get it. And planes also don't land in the Hudson, because all of these things happen in movies, and people tend to believe or tend to think that anything that they see in a movie just isn't possible. Oh man, that was in a movie. But nah, MK Ultra Mind Control actually exists. And just so you could get a little bit better understanding, they also started using it in the entertainment field. What happened was, supposedly, quote unquote, the CIA decided that they weren't going to use it any further because of when the hypnosis or the mind altering effects left the individual. It left them unstable. So the CIA supposedly, quote unquote, discontinued the use of MK Ultra Mind Control. But the people who picked it up was Hollywood. And Hollywood supposedly, quote unquote, has been using MK Ultra Mind Control for a number of years, more than 60 years. And you could usually, one of the lasting effects is, like I just said, one of the reasons why the CIA stopped using it was because when the individual that was subject to it starts coming out of the trance, they have breakdowns. They have mental breakdowns. Now, I say all of that to say, this whole situation that's going on with Tyrese, I believe he's having a mental breakdown, and I think it can be partly due to his MK Ultra mind effects wearing off. I also think it has to do with the fact that there's a good chance that he is also being targeted. The reason why I say there's a good chance that he could also be being targeted is because one of the things that Hollywood does to you when they don't want you around no more, when they want you to disappear, when they're upset with you, when you've pissed off the wrong person, is to extract all of your monies from you. And one of the ways that they do that is they keep you tied up in court. Because you're going to pay the money you need to pay to not, to win the court case for whether it's civil or whether it's, criminal, or, in his case, it's family court. And, you're going to pay the monies that you need to pay in order to be able to win that case. So Tyrese is currently going broke. I know what a lot of people are going to say. Man, I seen his houses. Man, I seen his cars. Yes, you've seen the things that he spent money on and that he still have to pay taxes or insurance on, and in some cases both on. So yes, you've seen those things, but those things don't generate income. You see the difference? The difference is those things don't generate income. Those things actually costs money. Those things are a bill. So whenever you look at somebody and be like, oh man, that person, they can't be going broke because they still got a car. That's because I don't think like that, but that's because your concept of wealth is skewed. You don't understand. There's a difference between being able to buy something and a difference between being able to afford it. And what he's going through right now is he's about to lose his ability to afford the things that he has. So therefore, he is going broke. There is not a question of that. So you add that with the problems that he's having inside of his personal life, and you add that to the fact that he hasn't done a movie in a while. He only does one movies right now. There's only one movie that he does. What does he do besides Fast and the Furious? He doesn't do anything else. He hasn't dropped an album in who knows when. So if he's not doing Fast and Furious movies, he's not making money. You understand? Now, he could have been a little bit smarter and invested. But look at Tyrese. No disrespect to the young man or the older man at this point. He doesn't look like the kind of gentleman that's going to invest money. He looks like the kind of gentleman that he turns everything that he has into his personal piggy bank. You open a business. He's already funded. He already has money. You open a business. You allow for that business to grow by using the monies that business generates to help build that business. If you can do that over a year and a half to 2 years period of time, not all of the money obviously, but a majority of the monies, you can grow your business to a point that it could be self-contained. You understand? It could make enough money for it to stay in business, and you also get a reasonable sized check off of it every month. There's a skill to being a businessman. Just owning a business does not make you a businessman. Owning a business means you're a hustler. Turning that little small business into a big business where it's then self-contained and you're also getting a reasonable sized check every month off of it, that's being a businessman. There's a difference. Because now you can move on to another business. You can open something else up, or you can grow your brand. Anyway, the point is, Tyrese can be suffering from the effects of his MK mind control wearing off and all of the outside issues that he's having in his personal life, along with his professional life. So we have to look and see what is going on right now. Who did Tyrese piss off? He didn't piss anybody off to the point where they're attacking him, but he's pissed people off to the point where, why can't he just go get another role while the Fast and Furious is in hiatus and they're doing the Rock movie? Why couldn't he have been in the Rock movie? You understand? Not that, I would assume there wouldn't even be a spot for him because he's too small of a main character in the main Fast and Furious movies. Like, in the main movies, like, you got to understand, like, how much money do you think he's getting off these Fast and Furious movies? There's like 10 damn stars. He's not getting like 20 million off of each one of these movies. You understand? There's like 10 stars in the Fast and Furious. So how much money is he really getting? It hurt him. And I'm not trying to bring up anybody's, the loss, but it hurt him when Paul Walker passed away. It hurt him most likely emotionally, because that was his friend first. And it hurt him financially, because him and Paul Walker played very well off of each other. You understand? So If you add that to the fact, add all of these things in together, you get somebody who, right now, what we're watching in the media, because he's creating and causing it to be media by filming himself and then putting it online, what we're watching is somebody breaking down and coming out of their MK Ultra mind control.
That's exactly how he did. Has a certain amount of distance between the bodies. Exactly. And you're high.
Yes, like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
35 years ago today, Elvis Presley passed away, the king of rock and roll. As Mark Cohn says in his great song, Walking in Memphis, there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king.
He recorded off-air transmissions from the Bush-Clinton presidential election campaign in the 1990s. We can see that Bill Clinton was nothing more than a puppet to the puppet masters, which placed him in the White House. Bill Clinton's demeanor seems to be similar to a person who is under a hypnotic trance.
This spasm of publicity about what happened from Mexico to London
was pretty rough, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Ah, weird. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello. Ew. Strawberry. Yeah, it was a weird.
Just think about this for a second. Just for a second. If, you know, the Hollywood, if Hollywood in itself is rife with people who are either under MK mind control or putting people under MK mind control, and they're controlled by people who are administering these things to them in order to control them, then what about the products Hollywood is putting out? What about the movies? What about the TV shows? I used to go to school for advertising and business management and advertising. Anyway, so one of the main things that they teach you on advertising is the most effective advertisements are the ones that affect you on a subconscious level, are the ones that you don't even know is affecting you to make you want to buy something. You understand? It's not just the ones that's out front and you were like, oh man, I see that, I want that. What they want to do to you is they want you to be thinking about their product even when you're not thinking about their product. You understand? Those are the most successful forms of advertisement. Okay, I'm just going to break something down real quick. Do you want to know why McDonald's, Burger King, and a ton of these other places that sell food, fast food in particular, the colors, that their identity is usually orange and red? Because orange and red, both when seen, calls for an individual to experience hunger. It sounds crazy, right? It sounds absolutely crazy, right? But they have done studies on this. Those colors elicit hunger in the individual when you see them. Think about, just for a minute, I mean, not every single fast food restaurant has orange and yellow in it, but think about it for a minute. How many fast food restaurants you can name, or just that sell food in general, that their main colors is orange and yellow? Now think about how many their main colors is green. Only one I could think of is the Olive Garden, and everybody complains about the Olive Garden for some strange reason. I like the food, but everyone complains about the Olive Garden. Just think about it. The majority of the fast food restaurants are actually orange and red. There's marketing behind this. There's psychological studies done. You understand? So you have to understand, everything that comes out of Hollywood is programming. It just is what it is. You understand? So when we look at Tyrese and we see him having these breakdowns and everything that he's having going on in his life right now, this stuff, I believe, is being engineered to break him down on a spiritual level. You understand? These things aren't just there. It's not just an accident that all of these things are happening. Coincidentally, I think yesterday, as of this report, yesterday, I believe on November 4th, today's November 5th, but on November 4th, I think that one of the charges, or not charges, but one of the child protective, whatever the child protective agency is out there, was had him under investigation, and they dropped the investigation as of November 4th or 3rd, one of the 2 days. You know. So you got to understand that these things happen. And pay attention to the people who, when these things happen, those people are making fun of them. Those people are making it seem like they're crazy. Oh, man, what are they doing? That's because their controllers are telling them to do these things. You understand? That's the way that works. I don't like covering stories like this. But I'm covering this story. You understand? But I don't really like covering stories like this. I've been watching this man in the media for like the last week or so getting killed. But this hits home for me because I have an estranged daughter that, you know, due to manipulations, I'm not able to be in life like I would like to. You know, she also lives very far away from me. And early in I didn't really find out about her till she was 4. It was like one of those things that if I really make it big, it'll make a pretty good TV show or movie, or like sitcom, not movie, a pretty good movie. It really would. The whole how she was conceived, the whole how I met her mother, the whole what happened after after we joined back together, the whole situation about, you know, the manipulations that was put into effect to try to force me to be into a relationship I didn't want to be in, and then all the things that happened after even when I was trying to, you know, I gave in and said, okay, I don't really want to be in this relationship, but I do love my daughter. I want to be around my daughter. I understand that if I don't get into this relationship, I won't have that opportunity. And then after figuring out that it's just not going to work, the things that happened after that, the things that she did to make it look like or make my daughter feel like I didn't want to be in her life, like all of this, like, you understand what I'm saying? So I understand what Tyrese is going through on that level. Believe me, I do. I can't even express to you. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. Before I started this YouTube channel, I actually had a breakdown. It caused me to lose my relationship that I had with a very nice young lady due to the fact that I was just going through so much at that point in time, with what was going on with my daughter and her mother, what was going on just in my personal life with my family, what was going on financially with where I worked. I was just going through so much, and I couldn't keep holding it together long enough in order for me to be able to work on the relationship that I was in with a very, very, very wonderful young lady, and it just didn't work out, and I lost a relationship that was very, very important to me. And upon losing that relationship is when I started doing YouTube. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Let me keep it 100. So when I see what Tyrese is going through, I understand, at least on that level. You understand what I'm saying? They're sending him, because you got to understand, when you get on the outs in Hollywood, you ever notice how there's just certain actors that, you know, they don't do no movies for a while, and then all of a sudden they go into the media, they might say something that might be negative towards Hollywood, and then the next thing you know, they ain't caught for the next 5 years. They constantly getting caught with marijuana somewhere, cocaine or some other drug. They're getting busted somewhere, like at some, and it's always at like a airport, you know, because when you go to the airport, You have to get checked. You understand what I'm saying? So you could not have anything on you and they could just plant it on you in an airport because you have to get checked when you go on the airport. You think about how many, just for a second, think about how many people in entertainment over the last 10, 15 years been caught in the airport with drugs. And then how many of those people, like immediately before that they were caught with some kind of drugs, maybe a week, maybe a month, says something against someone in Hollywood or against someone, that work in the entertainment field. High person, not a low person, but a high person. It's going to be like an 80%. Now, Tyrese, as far as I know, he didn't necessarily say anything against, to start this beef, except for when he got upset and he was talking about The Rock. And I'm under the belief that when him and The Rock first started that little back and forth, Tyrese was 100% serious. I don't think in no way when that whole back and forth started that Tyrese was joking. I think he was 100% serious. I just think that Rock's, we're going to call them agents or management party. We're not going to call them handlers. We're going to call them agents or management party. Decided that he should take the route that he took in order to not really, to minimize the overall damage in what Tyrese was saying. But let's just think for a second. Tyrese is having this problem with his daughter's mother. I don't know about one that he's having an issue with. And it's been going on for a really long time. And he's been talking about it for a really long time. Remember, for like the last couple of years, Tyrese is constantly tweeting out or Instagramming or whatever the hell he's doing about what women should be doing this, women should be doing that. I don't think he was talking about all women now. When I thought he was talking about all women, I was kind of looking at him side-eyed like, can't be serious. But now I don't think he was talking about all women. I think he was just trying to express the pain that he was going through in the situation that he was in. That's all I think he was really trying to do. I think he was trying to get support. But he didn't want to say what it was. That's why a lot of things that he was saying, the majority of the people was like, what the hell is wrong with him? Why he hating on women? But there was definitely aspects of individuals, whether they be man or woman, that 100% agreed with him because they were currently or had gone through similar things that they were able to relate to what he was saying. It just is what it is. So just pay attention to the people that's making fun of Tyrese. That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about the regular people, because there's tons of regular people making fun of Tyrese that just don't know nothing about anything. They caught in the matrix. I used to have a homeboy. Now that I look back on it, I think he had been suffering from CTE at a very young age because we used to play football together. And, he was just really reckless. You know what I'm saying? And I think that there was multiple times I know for a fact that he would get into the game, get a concussion, or at practice get a concussion and keep playing because he didn't want to disappoint our coach. And our coach, I remember I had bruised ribs. And after I got bruised ribs, my coach started making fun of me, because I couldn't play because I had bruised ribs. I really had bruised ribs. I was playing receiver that day. I went over the middle. I caught the ball, got cracked. I held on to the ball. I really had bruised ribs. For those that don't know, bruised ribs is not nothing. You're not playing football with bruised ribs unless you're taking some kind of like drugs to numb the pain, or I don't know, special break. I don't know. You're not playing football with bruised ribs. I'm talking about football with equipment on top of that. That's what I'm talking about. So there's been numerous times that, my homeboy, and I know for a fact, he went in the game, he got concussions, came out of the game, and, I spoke to him on the side, and, he had a headache. And the coach put him right back in the game. Didn't ask him, was he okay? No, nothing. No, nothing. Same coach made fun of me, started calling me chicken because I couldn't play because I had bruised ribs. But it is what it is. I mean, I'm not trying to laugh about it, homeboy, but the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody that puts your kids into sports, find good coaches that care about your kids first, and then want them to become good athletes second. You understand? So, basically what ends up happening is, my homeboy, when he got a little bit older, we get into our late teens, early 20s. I say early 20s. Well, late teens, he started like being weird. You understand what I'm saying? But we get into our early 20s, 22, 23. I had moved back from about 24, 25. I had moved back. I moved to Georgia for a couple of years. So I moved back to New York City. And so he needed a roommate. I needed a place to stay. I was in school at the time. Matter of fact, I had just graduated from college. I just graduated from like a trade school, taught me how to do a whole bunch of internet shit. And I was working full time. So I was sleeping like 3-4 hours a night. Anyway, so after I graduated, he needed a roommate. I needed a place to stay. I had to move out of where I was at. So I became roommates with him. And when I tell you, first of all, the dude was feeding his cat peaches, man. Cats are carnivores. Cats don't eat peaches, yo, out the can, yo. He was feeding his cat peaches out the can, yo. It's crazy. Yeah, like, I'm not saying he was crazy. I'm not using that terminology. I'm just saying that act is you know what I'm saying? So all I'm trying to say is, I know I branched off into a lot of other things, but all I'm trying to say is, sometimes we gotta be mindful that when somebody is going through something, you understand what I'm saying? The way that everybody, when they're going through something, it's going to seem weird to somebody who isn't going through that same thing that they going through. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to seem odd. It's going to seem like, that, like, what's wrong with them? You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going through that same thing that they're going through. So we got to keep our minds open a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of room. But Tyrese, he's in a messed up situation right now. I feel for the brother. I hope that he comes out on the good side, but this might be a situation where he needs to try to get himself closer to God, because if if he is suffering from being under MK Mind Ultra, if he is, which I do believe that he is, he's in those big budget movies. There is no way that he's not. He's in big budget movies. There is no way that he's not. Then, he's going to have his own issues and his own problems. But also, one more time, I just want to break this down one more time, and I'm going to let y'all go. For everybody that says, oh, Tyrese has cars, he has this, he has that, he has that, he has that, he has that, he can't be going broke. Okay, you don't understand. The courts drain you. That's why when Hollywood gets upset at some actor who is talking too crazy, they supposedly get them hooked up in a whole bunch of bullshit that gets them sent to court. And when they get sent to court, next thing you know, they got a $150,000 freaking court bill. They paying they going to court 2, 3, 4 years straight. They spending $500,000 on freaking keeping themselves free. They spending $800,000 keeping themselves free. That kind of hurts your bottom line. That's just sapping money away from you. You understand? And when you're an individual who isn't smart enough to fucking, pardon my language, but who doesn't have the freaking wherewithal to make sure that you have businesses, you don't just become an actor and say, well, I'm going to do another movie, get another check. You become an actor, you get a couple of checks, and then you say, you know what, let me go, open up this business over here, open up that business over there, open up that business over there. There's no way in the world anybody should ever get $1 million and then go broke. If anybody ever gets $1 million and go broke, that's because they're too busy wanting stuff and not busy enough trying to earn. You understand? You get $1 million, that's at least $500,000. Okay, you get $1 million. I'm saying after taxes. I'm not saying before taxes. I mean, if you're making $1 million after taxes, that's probably going to be at least like half of that is gone. So let's say after taxes, you got $1 million. That's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to do this. Because I don't want nobody in here saying, well, taxes. No, after taxes, you got like $1 million. There's no way you should ever go broke. You should at least put a third of that towards building a business, or not even a third, but a third of that not even a third, fucking 1/3 of that, not 3/4. I want to make sure I'm clear about that, not 3/4. 1/3 of that or 1/4 of that towards opening up businesses, building businesses, getting real estate. You understand? Like, that's what your mindset should be. But these guys is buying cars, going to the club. You understand what I'm saying? Making it rain. I would never make it rain. It'll be drought season. Like, you don't understand. You know who I make it rain on? Whoever my old lady is. That shit'll rain all over her. Kids is. Shit'll rain all over them. She got kids. They gonna get rain all over them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be at the club making it rain on some random bros that I don't know from Adam. That's retarded. You know what I'm saying? That whole mind state that they're pushing in rap music, all of that is just, it's just freaking, it's poisonous. All of that is poisonous. Get as high as you could possibly get, throw away as much money as possible, live as risky lifestyle as possible. That's all rap music is pushing. All of it's crazy. But that's a story for another day. Look, man, this dude is not as crazy as people are making him out to be. I gotta go. I've been holding y'all here so long with all of this stuff. Anybody who makes it to the end of this video, please hashtag Bronx Bombers for me. I want to know who made it to the end of this video. Besides that, I want to hear some comments. I want to know what y'all guys think about this. Keep it a buck with y'all. I got a couple of videos up there. I wanted to show you how Al Roker hit that MK Mind Control hit him. You understand? I wanted to let y'all see exactly, you know, how it works. So I showed 3 different examples. I showed the example of how you can turn somebody off. Al Roker got turned off. Somebody either said something into his ear, or the Holy Ghost was the word that turns him off. Al Roker got turned off. Bill Clinton was already off. And with women, it's usually different. You understand what I'm saying? With women, it's usually really multiple personality situation. And I showed how Britney Spears had multiple personalities because she also comes out of the Disney house and they get them kids young. So that's what it is. I want to know what y'all comments is behind that. Anybody that made it to the end of this video, please hashtag Bronx Bombers. Look, I love y'all. You don't have to raise your kid to be an entertainer. You know, we need doctors. We need lawyers. We need scientists. We need astronauts. We need truckers. You understand? There's tons of things that we need in this world. We don't need every single person of color to be like, man, how am I going to get in the entertainment business? We don't need that. Once fame is more important to you than taking care of your family, they got you. So that's all I got on this one. I love y'all. Keep each other safe. I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.